And describe that transaction and where y'all went.
Went to a house off Barrington Avenue. And then he went inside and grabbed a black bag containing 2 bulletproof vests and 2 sheriff's uniforms.
Describe these uniforms for me. We see sheriff's deputies in the courtroom today that are wearing gray. Were they the gray or were they the khaki that the sheriff's office used to have?
Tan color.
Right, like they used to wear.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what did you say y'all were going to do?
We're going to hit a lick.
All right. And you said he went over to this house on Barrington Place and got these uniforms and bulletproof vests. Did he give you one to put on?
Yes.
No. Right. How about a bulletproof vest?
Yes.
All right. Was the bulletproof vest underneath the shirt?
Yes.
All right. And how about weapons? Did y'all have weapons?
Yes.
All right. Describe what weapon you had.
38 revolver.
What color was it?
Chrome and black.
All right. Did the defendant have a gun?
Yes.
What type of gun?
I believe it was a semi-automatic.
All right. Did he keep it in a gun belt?
No.
All right. So was he wearing a gun belt?
No.
Okay. And after y'all had all the weapons, where'd y'all go?
We went to a street called Lafayette and met up with his friend there.
All right.
And that's when he retrieved the zip ties from him.
All right. But the Hispanic male didn't go with you, right?
No.
All right. So where'd you go after that?
To the house off Loud Cabin.
All right. Had you ever been there before?
No.
All right. Describe it for me.
It had a Margarita truck in the yard with multiple other cars.
All right. There wasn't a fence around it or anything, right?
No.
All right. Did it look like a house?
Yes, sir.
All right. And it was just you and the defendant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Defendant driving.
Yes, sir.
All right. And were y'all wearing gloves?
Yes.
What type of gloves?
Like work gloves.
All right. How about masks? Were you anything covering your face?
No.
All right. And what did y'all do once you got to the house on Love Cabin?
He knocked on the door, and when Mr. Lewis opened the door, he had a piece of paper in his hand, what was supposed to be a search warrant, and he gave it to him. Mr. Lewis let us in.
Was there anybody else in the office besides Mr. Rodriguez, Louis Rodriguez?
There's just some conversation here, it's like negative a little
Yes,
bit
that's
here.
good.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right.
Start over, Ms. Ray.
All right, let me jump back. The house you described, the where you ended up with the Margarita truck, it didn't look like a business, it looked like a house, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And there wasn't a fence or anything around it, correct?
No, sir.
All right. And I think you said you pulled up and y'all both went to the door,
Yes, sir.
and the defendant knocked on the door, beat on the door.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Rodriguez let you in, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think you said the defendant showed him what looked like a piece of paper, kind of like a warrant, right?
Yes, sir.
But they took it back from him, right? And y'all went in. All right. Now, once you got in, tell me what happened.
He said that for our safety and their safety, he was going to place him in restraints, and he put his zip ties on him in the front.
So the defendant zip tied both Mr. Rodriguez and the female inside, Miss Zavala.
Just
All right. And what were you doing?
standing to the side.
And after you had him zip tied, what happened?
He went to search. He told me to stand with him while he went and searched.
All right. And so you had a .38 revolver, right?
Yes.
And had he provided that revolver to you?
Yes.
All right. And he had a gun as well.
Yes.
All right. So you're kind of guarding the prisoners, right?
Yes.
And he's searching.
Yes.
What were y'all looking for?
Supposedly money and drugs.
All right. Did y'all find any money?
Yes.
All right. How much did y'all find?
About $2,600 in cash.
Tell me where that money came from.
$2,000 came out of a bag up under her desk, and the rest came out of Mr. Rodriguez's pockets.
Did you recover the money out of Mr. Rodriguez's pockets?
Yes.
All right. And were you nervous?
Yes.
All right. And whose idea was this to go over there?
Mr. Moore.
All right. Did you kind of feel like he was telling you to go?
Yes.
All right. But you went along anyway.
Yes.
I mean, you freely admitted your guilt and you pled guilty to this crime, correct?
Yes.
All right. How long were y'all there?
About 45 minutes.
All right. And all this time, Mr. Rodriguez and Ms. Zavala are zip tied in hand and restrained, right?
Yes.
They're not free to go, right?
No.
All right, did they seem to be getting nervous?
Yes,
All right. Did they seem scared?
yes,
All right. And you in fact had the gun on them, correct?
not pointed at him, but I had it out.
All right, did they ask you to kind of move the direction of the weapon?
Yes,
All right. Did you actually have to give Mr. Rodriguez his heart medication?
yes, I did.
And were you nervous?
Yes,
All right. Shaky? All right. And so y'all ended up getting about $2,600 from him. While there, did you call each other Kody or Mr. Moore?
no,
What did y'all call each other?
sergeant, sheriff.
All right, so you were using fake names as trying to continue the illusion of being deputies, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Because obviously you weren't deputies. Do you have any idea where the uniforms came from?
No,
But they were provided by Mr. Moore, correct?
yes,
All of the equipment, the guns, the bulletproof vests, the zip tie, well, you got the zip ties, the, everything came from Mr. Moore, correct?
except for the zip ties.
Except for the zip ties. All right. And so, whose idea was it for y'all to call each other by Sarge and detective and officer?
Mr. Moore.
So Mr. Moore was in charge that night. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
All right. Now, you said you were there 45 minutes to an hour, correct?
yes.
All right. And tell me how y'all left.
He said that he was going to search vehicles, and it was taking a little while, so when I looked out the door, he was getting ready to leave.
All right.
He told me to come on.
All right. So y'all left him. Were you afraid you were about to get left?
Yeah,
All right. So you went outside and you got in the truck, right?
yes,
Did the defendant say anything to you?
yes.
What did he say?
That we need to hurry up.
All right. Were you scared y'all were going to get caught?
Yes,
All right. And you left Mr. Rodriguez and Ms. Zavala zip tied in their office, correct?
yes.
All right. And you said you got about $2,600. How much of that did you get?
None.
Where'd the money go?
Mr. Moore.
All right. And what happened after y'all left Log Cabin?
We went to another house when they were switched vehicles.
You switched vehicles. What did you switch vehicles to?
A maroon Lexus.
Had you ever seen that car before?
Yes,
Whose car was that?
Mr. Moore.
All right, so you abandoned the SUV and you got in his car. Where'd y'all go from there?
To West Neighbor.
Is that where he dropped you off?
Yes,
What'd y'all do with the uniforms?
he took them with him.
All right. And did you ever see him again?
No,
Did you ever see the uniforms again?
no,
What about the pistols?
no,
Bulletproof vests?
no,
Zip ties?
no,
Money?